maybe in a parallel universe after this fight, we could all be eating walking tacos and...
I mean, I like tacos, but I prefer sausage, you know what I mean? I want a hot dog. I want a big German sausage. You know? It doesn't have to be German.
Hi, my name is Nina, and I'm here with...
Julianna Peña.
Julianna. You fought a line cook in an alley.
Yes, that's right, ma'am, I did.
I went into the back alley while I was serving, and I fought the line cook. And I had my eyes swollen shut for 3 days and 11 stitches.
Was he mentally unwell?
Unfortunately, he himself after that event.
No, did he?
Yeah, he really did.
He did?
Yeah, he was mentally unstable.
Oh, he was unstable?
Yeah, he was not in a good spot.
Oh, that took a dark turn. I thought he was just... I didn't hear the rest of that. You did an interview where you talked about like how you and your line cook didn't get along well. And then you were going to bring it outside, and y'all fought in the alley. But I didn't hear that part.
I had a swollen shut eye for 4 days and 11 stitches in my eye. So moral of the story is that I don't want to fight any more men seriously and think that I could win, because men are men and women are women.
Yeah, dude, but also like a line cook in an alley. Dude, that's ballsy though. Like you were like, you're about it.
So it's a long story. I was the manager at Papa Murphy's in Spokane, Washington, and he was underneath me, and he was like very, what is it called, insubordination, when they don't listen.
Yeah.
And so since I was in charge, I would be like, you can go home early because you're just more of a nuisance than you are of a help, and you annoy me. So being his supervisor, I would always let him go first. Out of everybody, he was always the first that I would cut.
Right.
And so then I quit that job, and I got a new job maybe a couple years later, and I was the food expediter. They call it the expo. And when I got there, he was the line cook and I was the expo. So we had to work hand in hand, and I'm like, oh no, not this kid. Like, this kid hates me because I would always send him home.
Yeah.
And so he'd always say, you're one layout and not feel bad about it. And I'm like, any day of the week, bro, because I was just starting out as like in my beginning of my career.
Yeah.
And he was always harassing me. He'd come up behind me and untie my apron, and everything would fall out. He would take the garlic bread on the line and throw it all over me so that I would have garlic bread all over my outfit. And we just fought and fought and fought. And the managers would always say, Casey, you better knock it off or else she's going to beat your ass, you know? And so they never like tried to stop it. They would just kind of like instigate
Enable it?
Yeah, they enabled it. And
You
so,
fighting a man?
And I told them that I was like, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm going to fight this guy. And they would be like, ha ha ha, she's so funny. But like, they didn't know that I was serious. And one day he was like, let's go. And I was like, I've been waiting for this day. And so we went out back, and I thought, if I can get inside on this guy and get my hands locked around him, it's over. But I didn't take into account that he was like 6'3". And so, yeah, I got dropped, and I popped right back up. Yeah. And then I went to go attack him again, and he dropped me again. And I swear to God, I popped right back up.
As you do?
And then, yep. And then I went in for the third time, and he dropped me again, and I popped right back up. But after that time, I was like, okay, fine. And I just I think I flipped him off and just like got to my car, and I just drove home with one eye and bawling like a baby. And I called my sister, and I'm like, I need you. I had no Ziploc bags. I had no garbage bags. I had nothing for ice. And so I called my sister, and I'm like, I need you to bring a bag. And she was like, what's wrong? I'm like, just bring a bag. I'm like, don't tell Mom. You swear to God you're not going to tell Mom. She's like, I'm not going to tell Mom. And so she gets down there, and I mean, they were there in like 15 minutes flat, maybe 11.
With a bag of ice?
No. My mom came in with her 9mm. Oh. And she was like going.
Is that
like,
Mom?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Let's go.
Yeah, and she's like, where is he? Where is he?
Yeah,
and I'm like literally looking at her. So they took me to the ER. I got 11 stitches. My eye was swollen shut for 4 days, and that was a Mondo lesson for me to not fight men. It took me one more time to realize that I shouldn't fight men after that, but now that is
well,
like,
you just gotta
I'm
make
done.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta like real make sure, and especially like you have that like mom's Mom will pull up.
Yeah. Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
so this isn't really gonna go the way I wanted to. Mom will.
Yeah, no, she's
We'll pull up for
she's
sure.
a gangster. I get my gangster from my mama.
Was this in Chicago?
Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, about 2 years later, he did do that to himself. Unfortunately.
Oh man.
Yeah, sucks.
Did you get to hit him like once or?
No, I should have went for the nuts. I should have just like kicked him in the balls and ran away and been like, "You're crazy. Or you're really gonna fight a girl." But I was so like, I swear to God, if I just get my hands locked around him, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I really believed that.
Yeah.
And so I shouldn't. If you're fighting in the street, it's not a fair fight. It's a street fight. You got to do whatever's possible.
Yeah, you need like a crowbar or
a
brick or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So I should have just kicked him in the nuts, but I didn't. I went the old, this is going to be a fair fight, thinking that it was. And
nothing's ever fair with men.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% right. It is.
Dude, I mean, that's sad, but like, you're still here. So
one time on The Ultimate Fighter, Dana White, they were really mean to me on The Ultimate Fighter. There was these 2 kids that were bullying me, and one of them gets kicked off the show for not making weight. And I said, Dana, that's crazy that kid got kicked off. He's one of the biggest bullies in the house to me. And he goes, well, it doesn't pay to be mean to you, does it, babe? And I said, no. And then the second time, on that same season, another kid got kicked off. And I said, dude, Dana, what the heck? Like, you have no idea. This kid has been giving me hell all season. I was like, and now he's getting kicked off too. Like, the 2 biggest bullies are gone. And he says, it looks like they got the Vixen curse, didn't they? And I said, yes, they did. And so it's real. And maybe the guy that fought me got the Vixen curse.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. That's messed up. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't believe in coincidence.
It's possible. It's possible. I try not to be superstitious, but maybe the Vixen curse is real.
When were you born?
August 19th.
Leo?
Heck yeah. Loud and proud. What are you?
Capricorn.
Okay, my baby's January 18th.
Oh, she's a January Capricorn.
Mm-hmm. January 18th. She's stubborn.
Yeah.
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 Are you stubborn?
But the January Capricorns are more stubborn than the December Capricorns. December Capricorns have that Sagittarius vibe, but the December Capricorns are true Capricorns.
Yeah, she's 7 years old. I already know I got my hands full with that one.
One of my favorite moments ever is your face off, and she's like posted up, like right behind you. It is like the sweet. It runs in your family. Yeah. I'm actually also the first woman to give birth and win a championship twice. That's never happened before. Dude, not one time, but 2 times too. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, well, we could do anything.
Literally.
And if we can't get you the first time, we'll get you the second time.
That's right.
Who tries to beat on a woman?
Well, so I get asked that question frequently. I think I've got it asked like multiple times today. One guy in a podcast 2 days ago was like, my friend's 205 pounds and he thinks that he can beat, Amanda Nunes. And would you please, set the record straight and let him know what would happen? And I'm thinking like, if we're in the gym and we're rolling and we slap hands, now that's one thing. But if you're going like straight man power versus a woman, and with my experience of, getting tore 4 out of 5 ligaments in my knee, thinking I could beat a man, and the swollen shut eye for 4 days, I'm like, I don't want to fight a man, okay? Like, I don't want to seriously fight a man and think that I'm going to beat them, because I've had to find out the hard way. Now, with that being said, what is wrong with these dudes where they're literally like, I could beat the crap out of her? Like, you need to go see a therapist and figure out what is wrong with your mentality and the reason why you think that you can, like, fight women and win. Like, go fight some 135-pound blue belt and get humbled instead, some other dude, But,
well, it's not like she's out here fighting other dudes and winning.
I know.
So, like, where does he get the idea that, like, well, I can fight? I'm like, I'm sure you could. With zero experience. Men are just much more, like, I don't really understand that.
Like, why do you want to fight a woman? What's wrong with you? Why do you want to fight a girl? Like, it's weird.
That's the society we live in.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's getting weird. It's getting real weird out there.
Yeah.
What is one of your most toxic traits?
Oh, I have a few. One that I can say right off the bat is I have a terrible habit of misplacing things and then thinking that somebody stole them. And I can't help it. I love my cleaning lady with all my heart. She is the closest thing to God. And
But she be thieving.
she hasn't taken a thing. But
but maybe she thought about it.
No, the second that I lose something, I'm like, she stole it! And then I find it like an hour later, and I'm like, God, please forgive me. I'm so sorry for even thinking that. Like, how could I even think that, you know?
Yeah.
And I've had this problem a majority of my life where I'm just always thinking that somebody stole something from me.
Is it like, did you have siblings?
Yes. And I was the baby.
Oh.
Maybe it's because they always blamed me for stealing their things. I don't know. I don't know. But I do have that terrible habit of blaming others.
You know what's funny? You're the first person I've asked that question. And, like, not only did you answer it honestly, you answered it. Everyone's like, I don't think I have any. I'm like, well, that's a red flag.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm the first to admit when I'm wrong. I'm the first to say I made a mistake. If I'm right and I feel convicted of that, I'm not going to back down. But I will have no problem admitting fault, and I am not perfect, far from it.
Okay, leads me to my next question. You're convinced everyone from ATT does steroids and shoot each other in the ass in the bathroom.
Oh, I'm not saying now. I'm saying back then for sure.
Oh, it was back then?
Yes. So are you asking me about it?
Well, now I am. Now I want to know.
Okay. So I won the Ultimate Fighter, and Dan Lambert paid for me to come down to train at ATT because at ATT they have like a 1% fee. So like whatever they win, it doesn't matter how much they win, they only have to pay 1% to the gym, which is a heck of a deal. That's why everybody flocks to the gym, because they know they only have 1% to give. And so he was trying to get me to move from Washington to Florida, and he paid for me, got me a car, put me up in a nice spot so that I could train at the gym and see what it was like. When I got there, I was training, and with the jiu-jitsu coach, who's no longer the jiu-jitsu coach there, he's a very highly esteemed guy, he told me that he literally told me that the girls shoot each other in the ass with steroids. And I said, no, they don't. And I didn't want to believe him. And he literally grabbed me by the shoulders and was like, Julianna, I'm telling you, they shoot each other in the ass with steroids. And so I was like, no, they couldn't. But so this was pre-USADA in 2013. And I mean, back then it was like you piss in a Dixie cup, and that was like what you were given to the guys. And so it was like wild, wild west back in the day. And I believe that, especially with a lot of the findings that they were having at ATT, like several of their athletes testing positive for steroids, it's just a thing culturally that I knew about from their gym from back in the day.
Well, maybe if you shot yourself in the ass with steroids, you would have beat your line cook.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't take steroids, and I think that if I did back then, I probably still wouldn't have had a chance, you know. His reach was just too significant, honestly. He was a giraffe.
What an ass.
I know.
Did you continue to work there?
No. You want to know what happened?
Yeah.
They had me write out an email of my account, and so I did, like a dum-dum. And then they got his story, and they fired me and kept him.
Why?
Because they said that I was a professional fighter, and in the state of Washington, there's like a right to fight clause. I can't remember the law, but it's like stand up for yourself type of law, where if two people agree to fight on the street or outside, then they are allowed to fight, and you can't get in trouble for it.
Regardless of gender?
Well, I told them that I was a professional fighter. And because I'm professional and my hands are, what do they call it? My hands are lethal weapons, and I got my hands are signed or whatever, then it was my fault because
Did you tell me you didn't even get one shot in?
Yeah. So, and I didn't. And so they fired me and they kept him. And
That's
is why
weird.
that is
That's
why
weird.
I will never support the Onion or any of their businesses or any of the
It's
Frank
still open?
Steiners. Yeah, the Frank
Oh, no.
Steiners in Spokane and the Onion, they
No.
will never get a cent from me.
We're anti. Never get a cent from me either.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
Onion.
Yeah.
You hear that? No.
Yes.
That ain't it.
Not a dime.
That's weird. No.
You know.
What is a walking taco?
You look hungry, Kayla. You look hungry. You look like you need a walking taco.
So I believe that Kayla's mom used to make these walking tacos at the judo tournaments.
What is a walking taco? What is
I
a
think
walking
it's like a
taco?
Fritos bag filled with like nacho cheese and all sorts of weird stuff. I don't
like
really know.
like what you get at the movie theater?
No, maybe like something that you would get at like La Michoacana or something like that, where they like give you like a bag of nachos or Fritos, and
Tostilocos?
they pour all like chili and cheese in it, and then you just eat it out of the bag. You know
Like
what I
chili
mean?
in the what?
Yeah.
What? And they call it a walking. Oh, because you can carry it.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's just Fritos with nacho. So it's
I don't
not
know
like,
what's in it. I just know that that's what they are, and that's what she used to sell at the judo tournaments.
Because I don't think she even knew what a walking taco was.
Oh, she knows. She knows.
Oh, God.
I mean, not gonna lie, it kind of sounds good. Like Frito.
I can't. It's the first thing that I'm going. It's the first thing that I'm gonna eat after I weigh in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe her mom can make me one. I don't know. I don't know how it goes exactly.
That sounds pretty. Maybe with like a little with a little lime.
Yeah. Squeeze a little lime.
on top.
Yeah. Sour cream.
Oh
Forget
yeah.
it.
Sour cream. So the MMA community can be brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say that the women's fights are the bathroom break of the card.
I don't believe that.
I don't either. So what would you say to the people and why they should watch this fight?
Everybody watches women's sports, and I believe that they should tune into this fight because it's the most anticipated title fight, especially for women, in a very long time. And I think that, with two strong fighters like we have on this matchup, it's going to be nothing but something spectacular to watch. And so I think that what else are you doing on a Saturday night? First and foremost, with MMA and UFC in particular being the fastest growing sport in the world, what else are you doing on a Saturday night? Like Saturday night, every Saturday night, I'm watching fights. What are you doing? Like it's what everybody, if you're doing anything, is doing on a Saturday night. It's what I do on my Saturday nights.
If you're not a loser.
Exactly.
Is there anything you're afraid of? Like irrational fear? Do you have any irrational fears?
I'm afraid of guns and having a situation go down without being able to shoot somebody is what is, I guess, a little bit scary. Well, when you live alone, too. Like, I live alone, and so it's like one of those things where I'm always like, I hear a sudden noise, and I'm like, check the camera. Like, what was that?
Yeah, I feel that. Like when I was younger, I saw this weird, like one of those Lifetime documentaries of this guy who used to go into public bathrooms and like gas stations, and he used to put cameras in the vents, and he used to watch girls go to the bathroom. Yeah! And so growing up, honestly, probably until throughout all of high school, like from middle school, any public bathroom I went to, I would go to the bathroom in the dark.
Yeah.
I was terrified. Even to this day, like I'll look up when I'm in the bathroom and I'll look up to see if there's cameras in the vents and stuff like that, because I have a fear of like there being cameras where I'm being watched.
Yeah, I think it's not so much like a animal fear. It's more of like a man. What is man capable of? Because man is capable of some crazy things. Oh, yeah, and like that evil that sometimes comes out, I think, in men, that creepy stuff is kind of what I fear.
Yeah, I got a lot of creepy stuff.
Yeah.
But in Nevada, you can carry.
I think in Illinois you can carry too, and I have my FOID card, but I am the type to accidentally shoot myself in the foot. And so I
gotta put safety
like,
on, girl.
Don't
leave one in the chamber and put the safety on.
Well, and the reason why I have this fear of guns is because I accidentally shot my boyfriend's Colt 45 through the wall one time. And when I shot the Colt 45 through the wall, like I was with one of my girlfriends, and like
And it was loaded.
Loaded, Colt 45. We were Charlie's Angeling. We're back to back, like, you know, doing all the pictures. And then all of a sudden I pointed, boom, the gun goes off. And I think maybe one, max 2 times since then. And that was like in 2012 or 2011. Mm-hmm. That was like the last time I touched a gun. And so I'm not a big gun person.
Do you think if you ever got like more familiar with them that you would feel more comfortable, or do you think it's just something that you think?
It's not that I don't want a gun or that I don't have any desire to like learn about guns. It's just more so the fact that because all these bad things happen with guns, I would just like to try to be more of like how about we put the guns down and actually like learn how to fight and like learn how to defend yourself like back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
What happened to like shanking people like they do in Asia or like they do in these other countries where you're not gonna like kill a person for the rest of their life? I mean, these dads or these family members that they lose, they'll never see them again.
Poison rings. Bring back poison rings.
No, I would no. I don't like that.
Shanking.
If you're gonna, I mean, look.
Do it the old-fashioned way.
What happened to just a good old like beating, you know, knock them out, drag them out, fight in the alley, like
baseball bat,
but not men versus women type of alley.
Not the 40s.
Yeah.
Not 2011.
Yeah, not Line Cook versus Expo back alley.
Not Line Cook.
No.
You guys should have a show, both of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Right?
You hear that? We should have a show.
I don't think Kayla would like that very much.
Kayla could be on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
It could be the 3 of us. You know, I asked her. I said, "Would you, in another lifetime, be friends with Julianna?"
What'd she say?
Well, she said no.
She said no, and that's not.
But I think she has to say no now. But you also said she was on steroids.
I didn't say she was on steroids. Everybody else is saying she's on steroids.
Julianna.
That's the facts, dude.
Wait,
Girl,
ask her too. Ask her if she would be.
no, so here's the thing,
Okay,
is that everybody, you know, I've been doing this since 2013 in the UFC.
Yeah, I know.
Never has any of the media ever asked
But
me
it's because she's so
over
strong.
and over
she's
again.
so strong.
Yes, but they've never asked me, ever. I have never got that question before. So if all of the media keeps asking me the same question, obviously she's not passing the eyeball test with all of the media either. It's not just me. It's like if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, maybe it might be a duck. But
Or a walking taco.
Yes, but these are questions that you have to ask her. She needs to answer those.
She did.
I can't.
She does.
Does she?
She's gifted. She's genetically gifted. She's just very strong.
Like strong
She's
how?
very
Like Lance
strong.
Armstrong strong? Or like
No.
like
Bertha from Iceland strong.
yes, okay.
She's strong. She's
Okay.
like Heidi from Germany strong. Like she's just strong.
I get it, and I respect that. And again,
And
I'm
she
not.
doesn't fight at 135. She was like naturally like 160. So
Well, there's another
when you
interesting.
cut down underneath all that,
Yeah.
she's strong.
I've
She's
seen
strong.
some photos of her though, like somebody gave me my phone, where she's like very soft, round. No, I don't want to say doughy by any means, but just like looking more feminine in her features, where she looks like soft and like a girl. And then it's like cut to like now where she's like juicy and like everybody keeps asking if she's on
Sculpted.
steroids.
She's, like,
And
got
I'm not saying that she is. I'm just saying that everybody keeps asking me the same question over and over again.
So
and
you're not saying she's on steroids. You're saying
just-
that everyone's asking you if you think she's on steroids.
maybe she's not passing the eyeball test for a lot of people.
She's just got the cut. Like she's just strong.
I'm strong too, girl.
Dude, you are strong. Strong in spirit, strong in will, strong in fight,
Strong physically.
strong physically.
I might not look as juicy as some. Well, and then about the friends thing, just so we can go back to that for a second. She don't have any friends unless she has to pay them.
No, I'm her friend.
You're her friend, yeah.
But here's the
But
thing.
you're paid.
I think no. I'm an unpaid friend. But I think if you guys actually got to know each other, you would actually kind of like each other.
All I'm saying is that all her friends that
Here's the
she
thing.
used to have all written me on Instagram throughout the history of this entire camp to be like, she backstabbed me, she sabotaged me, I hate her here, I hate her there. Like, I'm not making that up. So she's like, no, we would never be friends. I'm like, you don't have any. They're all writing me. They all, you sabotaged all of them and they can't stop hitting me up. You know what I mean? So that's a fact. And I could, like, there's a part of me that wants to pull out the receipts, but I'll just keep it at that.
Maybe in a parallel universe after this fight, we could all be eating walking tacos and buying Labubus.
I'm not a taco.
And-
I mean, I like tacos, but I prefer sausage. You know what I mean? I want a hot dog. I want a big German sausage. You know? It doesn't have to be German. Yeah, she can keep them tacos.
Dude, that's funny as what do you think of Power Slap?
Love it.
Dude, it's good.
Dude, food and drinks, amazing.
It's good. It's a good time.
Oh, it's so fun.
The live events, I keep telling people, it's the live events. It's the live events.
It's so fun.
They're fun.
I love Power Slap. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
And she's not getting paid to say it either.
No,
She could say she don't like it.
I mean, anytime there's...
She says whatever she wants.
Yeah. Anytime there's free food and drinks, I'm in.
She
But
in.
like,
That's how you get drawn in, the free
Yes.
food and the drinks. And then you get to see Power Slap, and you're
Yeah.
like, insane.
no, the atmosphere is really fun. First off, when you go to a live event, it's just like you can feel the energy, and it's a different take from fighting. So it's like something new and fresh and exciting. And then just the idea, right, of like getting slapped across the face like that, like it's interesting. I'm here for it. Love Power Slap.
We love Power Slap. You're in an alien invasion.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick 3 fighters to be on your team to fight aliens alongside you. Who would you pick?
Fedor Emelianenko, George St. Pierre. Now, how big did you say she was again, and how strong? Big and strong. Show the muscles. Show the muscles.
Dude, she's strong.
She's strong.
She's cut.
She's strong. Yeah.
She's real cut. Dude, I feel like against aliens, you guys would cook.
Yeah, we'd be eating. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she's strong, but I ain't picking her. Fedor Emelianenko, George St. Pierre, John Bones Jones, right? I think he could probably fight off some aliens.
You can fight off some aliens.
Yeah, he knows how to shoot too.
And drive. Well,
Yeah. No, I'm the driver.
that was a bad joke, sorry.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm the driver.
That's a really bad joke.
I'm driving. I'm driving the boat.
Yeah, you drive the boat. You drive the ship, Juliana.
Yes, I'm a
And
good
you're going to
driver.
drive the ship straight to the end of this interview, or I probably have to wrap it up. Tune in for UFC 316 this June 7th to watch Julianna Peña defend her title.
Please buy the pay-per-view, UFC 316, or please come to Newark and watch me fight.
And it's not a bathroom break, you
Everyone watches women's sports.
period. And that, everyone, is my interview with
Julianna Peña.